Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Monday morning Premier League Wiffle podcast.
I am Chad Phillips.
And I'm Adam Tannick. And today we have a great show for you. We're going to go over the recaps of all the games this week. We are going to talk a little about the Pocket Radar, as we have a special guest that's going to join us who was on the phone with Pocket Radar and learned a little bit of valuable information.
Absolutely.
And at the end, we're going to talk about Rookie of the Years. How are we going to do that?
We're going to make a bet.
We're going to make a bet,
pick a few guys apiece, and we'll see if who can land the Rookie of the Year here.
So we have all that, but first, I wanted to talk about the upcoming tournaments that are going to be here at Ranch Island, the Premier League Wiffle tournaments. The first one is going to be...
I don't even know, Adam. That's not my department.
It's going to be this Saturday, so it's going to be, this weekend, and that's going to be the draft tournament. Single-day draft tournament, 48 players max, $25 donation to the rescue. Just go and register online, and then you'll be drafted. You get to play with some new people. And then March 27th is going to be the Premier League Wiffle team tournament. You're going to be able to bring a team. It's going to feature the 8 Premier League Wiffle teams and some out-of-town teams. I'm hoping that we're going to have at least 10 teams. If we don't, then we'll probably cancel that tournament. But I'm very hopeful that
I think we should get that. Yeah, it's looking pretty good right here.
Yep. And then, of course, the big tournament, the 10K, the end of September, the 10K tournament. Bring your all-star team, the best guys in the world, bring them down, compete against us, and we should have some fun. And in between that, we'll have some other tournaments. We're going to see how this March one goes before we get to that. So moving on, we're going to go into some of the recaps.
Let's start backwards here. Let's start with the most recent series that we watched, the Snappers and the Ones, a 3-game series that took place last night.
Actually, that was on Thursday.
Well, today's Friday.
So today's Monday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we pretend that we were doing this live on Monday.
Sorry about that.
Yep.
Snappers Ones, it was definitely both teams came ready to play, and the first game ended up going 7 innings, and nobody could score a run. And the Ones found a single by, I believe it was Scottez Dobbins, in the bottom of the 7th to knock in the ghost runner and win that game 1-0. And then the Ones didn't look back from there. They put some runs up in both the second and third games, and their pitching of Schmitty threw all those innings. 20 Ks I think he had in like 12 innings. He pitched great.
And Ray looked a lot better too on the mound.
100%.
Yeah.
That was a good series.
So Ray surprises me because out of all pitchers in the league, he sits at 56. That's like his spot. His number should be changed 100%. To 56.
He's been working hard too. He came and practiced a couple hours the day before, and he looked a lot better out there too. So giving the Ones a chance to get 3 wins. They started 0-6, and now they're 3-6, and the Snappers fall to 2-7 with those losses. They didn't really run their best team out there this week, but Mavro knows this, and he's going to try and regroup for Monday.
Yeah, well, they got some good rookies on that team, as we'll talk about a little bit later. But yeah, moving on, the Calicos and the Bombers. That was
what an anticipated series that was. Both of these teams, they both wanted it bad. There was a lot of back and forth before that game and during that game, and the Bombers found the first game 2-0 on Dave Seifert with an opposite field double in the last inning with a couple of guys on to give
huge.
a 2-0 game. And then in the second game, the Bombers jumped right out to a 3-0 lead, and Dave Seifert was started, and TJ might have left him in a little bit too long, I think.
It's possible. I remember I was sitting there announcing the game, watching it, seeing the Bombers up 3-0, and Dave was kind of working it there, getting his outs, and I'm thinking, man, it looks like the Bombers are going to be in first place, and we're going to have to listen to TJ.
It looked like it for sure, but Stein didn't let his team down. Nick DeVilla with a big, I believe it was a 2-out single in like the third to get him on the board.
Yep. That ball really curved.
Oh, okay, nice. And then a big hit by Stein with Brandon Mayo did come in with the 3-2 lead and 2 on.
Mayo,
I'm sorry.
Mayo.
I like to abort everybody's last name, I guess. But Brandon came in, and Stein wouldn't be a very hard. It was a 62-mile-an-hour pitch by Brandon, and Stein slapped it the other way, knocked the 2 runs in, and the Calicos held on 4-3. Alex Carrasco came in, and Stein, they were on to him. He looked great the first few innings, and then by the second game, they were on to him, and he knew it. And Alex came in and took care of business.
But yeah, thank you, Calicos, for beating TJ there and the Bombers.
Yeah, and the next series would be go back to Monday is Calicos also. Calicos Snappers, and The Snappers did bring a pretty good team that night, but the Calicos were ready to go, and everybody on the roster hit. And
even without James Stein, that actually improved their offense.
That's correct. They didn't have Stein. Joe Kuther, Barry Hutter, Matty Levine, all with some big RBI hits. Nick Davila with a grand slam to put one of the games out of reach, 9-0, and the Calicos won 9-0 and 3-1, and that put the Calicos up to 3-1, I believe.
Yep.
Anything else you want to say about those teams here?
Nope.
Okay. Let's go on to your series then. It was Sandvipers Tomahawks.
Sandvipers Tomahawks. Man, this is the first time in the league where I'm on the mound and thinking, well, I can't make a single mistake. So they have Jamie, their leadoff hitter. I'm thinking, okay, so here's the easy out.
Yeah.
And so fall behind him a little bit because he's just not chasing anymore. And then I kind of, whatever, doesn't matter. He has a little yellow bat. I'm just going to kind of get one over, and he just slaps a single. Okay, whatever. Now he's facing him again, and I'm thinking the same thing. Well, he's not going to get lucky again, and he does. And then I believe Jason got a double, scored a run. Oh man, it was tough. We were able to hang on and win that one 2-1.
That second game, the first game, Trench ended up throwing that one, and he looked pretty good out there. But that Tomahawks lineup is really strong. Nick Sansoni looks fantastic when he shows up. Billy's getting better every week. Tony Garay, I think, he looks great up there as well.
Yeah, but he's hurt. He jumped up after a ball.
Yep.
And hurt his arm. He hasn't been back since.
He did play. I think there was the second game. Oh no, was it? No. It was the week before. Okay, time flies.
Before,
so okay.
Yeah. But Billy, Nick,
Jason.
and then Joseph showed up. He pitched a little bit. It's the first time.
Justin Schussler.
Yeah, Justin. Yeah. His first time out there. I feel kind of bad. He was leaning on the plate. Something we're going to talk about a little bit later. Yeah. A little curveball just to get it over there for an easy strike, and he just kind of blocked the strike zone. But I feel bad because he was. It was intense. He was a new player. I should have just said, okay, let's do a repitch there. If it's Jason Stephenson, it's a strike all day. He's an experienced player. We should have let him slide with the warning that time as a new player.
But everybody back in the booth saw that pitch was going to hit like the middle of the strike zone. So
it might have missed outside for a strike.
Exactly. So I think we had to go with a strike on that one. But Justin will learn that, and he probably won't do that again.
Yeah. Just ask Michael Dean.
Yeah. Let's go on to Bombers ones, and let's be really quick with this one because we already talked about both teams. The Bombers handled the ones. Their whole offense raked. Except for Jim, actually. Jim Dodo, so I give him his normal shout-out here. But Jim had a few hits, but the rest of his team was just better than Jim that night. And if that's going to be the case, the Bombers are going to be really tough to beat. TJ, Jim, Michael Dean, Dave Seifert, and there was one more that was on fire that night. And they 11-7 and 9-0 wins over the Ones, which made the Ones 0-6 before their sweep yesterday. I think we move on to my series now. Warbirds against the Stonemen.
Oh man, how
do we go there? I mean, Levi was I don't know. He talked himself into a tizzy before anything even happened. He was upset and bent before.
It seemed like looking on as I think was I announcing that game. Levi got Player of the Week last week. He's coming in for his team. He knows he has to perform, and they have a couple wins. Warbirds are a smart team. They're a veteran team. And what did they do? They let him walk in.
Yeah.
And then what happened? He's out of the game. Warbirds win. End of story. What happens when Levi pitches against the Sandvipers on Sunday? You better throw strikes.
He's got to throw some strikes.
He's got
to throw some strikes.
He's going to go to your bullpen.
They're both going to take, and we don't.
Yeah. We're looking to score 15 runs a game. We've never done it, but that's the goal going in. If we have to walk 20 times, we're going to walk 20 times.
So the first game we got on them quick, and once we got to that bullpen, it was just a quick 10-0 game. They didn't really want to be there for that one. They wanted game 2 to start, and game 2 did not start well for the Warbirds. Chris Warfield started, and they got a few on him in the first, and he loaded him right up in the second, and I couldn't get out of the jam, and we were down 7-0 before we could blink. But once again, fourth inning.
Yeah. He had a perfect game. Levi had a perfect game, was looking sharp, had his composure, and then walked a couple guys and just kind of...
They couldn't hang on, and we got through the bullpen, and we found 8 runs in the last couple innings, and that was it. And Warbirds are in first place now, 6-2. we're looking pretty good. We're feeling pretty good. We got a tough series against the Bombers on Monday. We'll see how that goes.
That's going to be a great series to tune in for. Warbirds, Bombers.
Absolutely.
Speaking of the Stonemen, they picked up a couple players. They called Allen up, who was undrafted at the tryout camp. The reason he's undrafted is he didn't grow up playing baseball, so he doesn't have baseball movements. He doesn't look like a baseball player, but what does he do? He's leading them in batting average right now.
He's leading them in RBIs, too, if you can believe that, with 3. There's like 4 players on their team that have 2, and Alan Sharples has 3 RBIs.
And when I'm pitching and Alan comes up to the plate, I'm not thinking, oh, no. But there's several times I've made good pitches and that no one else in the league hits, and somehow he finds a Oppo double
He's
down
got
the
that
line.
that late swing. It's really, he sees things really well, and it is hard to beat him with pitches. He manages to slap it in play somehow, like a little Otis Nixon in him, and he's
Braves.
He's
Otis
definitely
Nixon,
deserved
90s.
to be drafted by a team. The guy's out here more than anybody. He wants to play, and he's going to hopefully be able to add some value to that Stonemen team who needs him to do so.
And also with the Stonemen, former Sand Viper Chris Gishwinder played with our all-star Sand Viper travel team.
I'm glad you went with that last name there, Adam.
10 years ago. I learned how to say it. Gishwinder.
Gishwinder, got it.
Yeah. It's one of the weirdest names I've seen.
Yeah, I threw him a whole bunch of pitches. He's a big lefty the other night. He didn't look like he was going to put too much damage on the ball, but his pitching might be the difference. He's a lefty. He's able to drop his arm angle, and it looked like he had a chance to be a really, really solid pitcher, so Levi doesn't have to worry as much. Levi, and he'll have some complimentary 2 lefties too, so it could be tough.
That's going to be tough. The Sand Vipers, me and Tom being left-handed, I didn't see the ball very well off Chris.
Yep.
You get some nasty curveballs in there. Like with Brian, Brian kind of shut us down. I think one of our weaknesses could be good left-handed pitching, but it doesn't matter. We're going to destroy Chris on Sunday.
What about Jimmy? What do you think when he comes into the mound?
Oh, and Jimmy comes to the mound?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking, how far am I going to hit this one?
Hey, Jimmy, you better be serious out there when you get on the mound against the Sand Vipers. No goofing around. You need 100% focus on all of your pitches.
No, you don't. No,
yes, 100%, because you got the skills, man, to pitch. You just got to use them.
All right, well, let's move on. So we're going to be moving on to talking about the radar and let's go with the lean-in rule first.
Okay, the lean-in rule.
So, with baseball, you have the strike zone is in front of you. So there's, it's a lot different when the strike zone's behind you because the ball has more time to move around and hit that thing. And when you're crowding the plate, you can block just about half the strikes that are curveballs.
And baseball, you got to lock in too. You're really locking in, getting ready to hit, and you got to protect yourself because the ball actually can do some damage. So your shoulder is your protection kind of. You take them there, and it doesn't work that way in wiffle ball. If you're not going to swing, you just got to get out of there and let that pitch travel and see if it hits the strike zone. If there's a non-zero chance that ball was going to hit the strike zone, then as the umpire, I'm probably going to call that a no pitch unless we have like a culprit that has continued to break this rule. And as long as you show an effort continuously, then you're going to get the benefit of the doubt. We're going to no pitch you there, but if it's clear as day that it's going to be a strike and the pitcher jumps off the mound right away, like we're going to strike that pitch. I don't want to hear from the shortstop. I don't want to hear from the left fielder. It doesn't matter what you guys think. It just matters the pitcher and what the pitcher in his heart believes that pitch was going to do. It has to be an honest reaction,
So basically, if you're a hitter, don't let the ball hit you.
Yeah.
If the ball hits you, that might be a strike.
Yep, correct.
Don't let it hit you.
Correct.
Yeah, just don't let it hit you. It's going to be tough as we get new baseball players coming to the league because they're just used to that.
Yep.
And it's just going to be unfortunate because there's going to be strikes called on them.
100%. We're trying to take it a little lenient at the beginning of the season, and we will no pitch them when we get the chance to. But let's move on to the other rule we want to talk about with the pocket radar. I'm going to let Tom Gannon come in here, and because he's the one that spoke with pocket radar, I'm going to switch out with him for a couple minutes so he can tell you all the stuff he's learned.
So Tom Gannon's coming in. He got on the phone with pocket radar and got some good information. Pocket radar is great. They sent us a new radar, Tom.
That's right. And so if you didn't know, we use the pocket radar to enforce the speed limit in the PLW. And one of our guns was malfunctioning, so I called up customer service. They sent us a new one, and I also asked them a lot of questions about how this device works to try to understand why sometimes it seems like it's not reading correctly. So they explained to me that the radar gun reads the ball within about a foot of when you release it out of your hand. And that's usually with a wiffle ball the fastest it's going to go because It's light, it's hollow, it's got the holes, and it's going to slow down. They also told me that it's accurate within 2 miles per hour. So if you throw it right at 55, right at the speed limit, it could read it at 57 or it could read it at 53. But it's going to be somewhere within that window.
And to add to that, you know, same thing if you're pitching in baseball and you hit that down and away corner. That's not 100% strike. You know, some umpires are going to call it half the time. Some umpires are going to call it 90%. Some will call it 10%. So just like this, you know, I'm telling you what, if there's a pitch that's a strike and it's under 60 and I have 2 strikes, I'm swinging. I'm not going to take a pitch that's close, you know.
That's right. And so there are some days where the gun does read a little bit too slow. They told me that they've had thousands of people call in for malfunctions, and out of all of those, one time someone was complaining about the gun reading too fast. I've tried to put it in so many different places to feed my ego and say that it's reading faster, but I was unable to do it. But there are days where the umpire's got a big strike zone and it's reading a little bit low. So that does happen.
So part of the strategy and the PLW is being able to adjust to the adjust to the pocket radar and how it's reading that
And it
day.
should be consistent for both teams.
Yep, exactly.
So another big thing, which is why it has sort of mysterious readings, that the wiffle ball slows down a lot because it's so light. Chad is a really good example. He's got a riser that comes out of his hand sometimes at about 58, but by the time it comes to the plate and it's reaching the plate, it's more like 51. It slows down so much. But the pocket radar takes that fastest speed right out of the hand, no matter how much it slows down. So another thing is that it's reading the ball just on one plane as it's approaching the plate. So if someone has a really big curveball, it's actually going to travel more distance than that straight line to the plate. So it'll read it going a little bit slower, but the reaction time is still the same at that 55 type of reaction time. And let's see, what else do I have here? So the other weird thing is there's a lot of tall pitchers in the league. Adam, you're a good example. So when Adam releases the ball, he's actually about 2 feet closer to the plate than where I release the ball. So if he throws a pitch right at 55, in order to get the same reaction time, I would have to throw a pitch at 58 miles per hour. That's why a lot of times it seems like the taller pitchers get generous readings, but that's just because they're right on top of you. They're closer to you when they let go of the ball. And that's pretty much all we have.
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Big shout out to Pocket Radar.
PocketRadar.com, folks. All right. So now for our last topic, this show might be a little shorter than some of the others, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, still want to go back to sleep. Woke up early this morning. It's Monday morning.
Nice.
Here. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick some Rookie of the Years. What do you want to do, a dice or?
We can rock, paper, scissors.
All right, rock, paper, scissors. Ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot.
1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot. What the fuck? Oh my God.
Oh, we're running out of time here. All right, you can pick first.
Okay, I'm going to take Jimmy because I love you, Jimmy.
We'll say a little bit about Jimmy here. So out of everyone in the league, he could have picked for Rookie of the Year, and all of you guys watching, he could have picked you. He didn't. He picked Jimmy. Why?
Jimmy hits bombs, and if Jimmy starts taking things serious, he's going to be the best player in this league. Period.
All right. So my choice, I am going to go with Ryan Shen.
Well, I'm going to take his teammate.
Well, now you can ask me why I picked Ryan Shen.
All right, you're probably right. I probably should do that. Why Ryan Shen?
Well, because he's 6'5", and when you're 6'5", you're just better than everyone else, and he's going to crush. And he swings hard. He cares. He's always, thinking about wiffle balls.
You know that you and him are tied for the league leading home runs right now, right?
Well, he has more games.
Well, you guys have 3 home runs apiece, though. It's all about hitting it over the fence. It has nothing to do with how many games you played. He found 3. You found 3.
Well, I can't be Rookie of the Year.
Oh, well.
I say, Ryan Shen's going to also start to contribute on the mound a little bit more as well.
I agree with that. He got a save yesterday. He came in big spot to get that the third game. Now, the third of the 3 games, he came in and closed it down. He looked pretty good.
He did. He was also, I think, he had a lot of hot chocolate.
Yes,
So-
he was drinking hot chocolate all day long, and he showed up with his bladder was a little full of hot chocolate.
Yeah,
and,
a little loose out there.
a little bit,
Maybe he's
bit.
going to have to drink more hot chocolate before games.
Absolutely. Let me go ahead and take his teammate now, Adam Coates.
Okay.
Coates, I'm going to say his name right this time, too. The kid's probably the best athlete we actually have in the league, and if he can translate this over to wiffle ball, I think he's going to run away with this, actually. And to get him in my second pick is a steal here.
Well, I did have, if it was last week, I might have picked Couch, but I don't know if Couch was drunk. Yeah, had hot chocolate yesterday.
Well, he was drinking something a little different than hot chocolate, but that was after he started out like 0 for 5 or something.
4 straight strikeouts.
Oh, really?
I'm thinking, you're killing me with my bold predictions here.
No.
Still swung hard.
No,
but
I think he ended up finishing the night pretty good, though. I think he ended up like 5 for 14 or something.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think 5. I think the whole one's team ended up with like 3 or 4 or 5 hits. So yeah.
All right. Okay, so who am I going to go with? I am going to go with another player on the ones.
Yes.
I was thinking about maybe holding off. Maybe I would be able to steal him next pick. But I'm going to just get Schmitty right now. I think he's going to be an all-star pitcher. I think he's going to be pitching on the all-star game. Not with his numbers yet, but I think he's
I think his numbers now are pretty decent, actually.
Yeah.
After yesterday, he tightened him up a little bit yesterday for sure. He leads the league in Ks, or he's right there with Leva.
Yeah. So I think he's going to also be hitting a little better too and adjust. He hasn't played as many games as some of the other guys, but yeah, I'm happy to take him there. Would you have taken him if I
No, I'm going with Taylor Briner. I saved him. I could have taken him first, but I thought that he slid a little bit. Snappers struggled this week for sure. So Taylor's moved down a little bit in the rookie of the year, but he's still right there. He's still playing great defense. He looks good on the mound, and his offense is definitely capable of coming around. I believe he's got a home run and a few other hits already. So
yeah, his ERA is better than Shane's right now, just by like a couple points, like 1.8 or something.
Shane was very fortunate of a scoring decision change we had, and they were all going to be earned runs, but we went and reviewed the tape and found that it was definitely an error that led that inning off, and they would have had that 3 outs before any runs had scored. So Shane ended up going from 4 earned runs to none in that game and helped his ERA out a ton.
What's your ERA right now?
I think it's 2.7.
2.7.
2.7. I had a tough start against the Sand Vipers in the middle there.
And which team leads in errors? Is it the Warbirds have made more errors than any other team when you're pitching?
Maybe. I have no idea. We played some pretty good defense. I will tell you one thing about the Warbirds is we've turned more double plays than any team in the league right now. We have like 5 or 6 double plays.
Oh, yeah?
Absolutely. I wish we could keep that stat. That the system doesn't like to keep those double play stats for some reason.
So let's recap here. You took Jimmy.
I got Jimmy, Adam,
I
and Taylor.
Shen and
you got Ryan and Schmitty. And you're up. And you can't take any more ones players. You already got 2. You got to go to a different team now. Save some ones players for me.
Well, okay, so there's some close ones here. I am going to go with Billy from the Tomahawks.
Billy Osgood.
And I almost went with Billy instead of Smitty there. I didn't know where Chad's head was at. Yeah, Billy, good pitcher. He throws a lot of pitches.
Yeah, he's got like 14 different pitches.
Yeah, I don't know what's coming.
He's got Vaseline under the hat, and he's out there just trying to get anything by the hitters out there.
Yeah.
So he should be able to improve definitely this season.
The other thing I like about Billy, picking him up as maybe being rookie of the year is I think he has a good attitude too. He plays with a calmness. I don't think he's going to get tilted ever. Good swing as well.
I was like an 11 pitch at bat. He hit that home run off of me against. I threw 6 different pitches to him. He fouled. And
Was that an earned run?
Yeah, that was an earned run. I threw him a cookie.
Wasn't there an error before that?
No, that was
Two outs?
a 6-4 game, and he had a solo in the last inning there. I didn't want to walk him, so.
Didn't Jason hit one too?
Yeah, well, that was 5-3 when Jason hit one. He hit the solo, and then but that single that was in the top of the 5th was mine with 2 outs to get that insurance run across the board.
We're talking about these guys.
Okay,
here.
my bad.
All right.
My pick then, right?
Your pick.
All right, Manny, I got you, man. I got to take you, Manny. You want to be so good. You want to be there, and you're going to be there soon, buddy. So keep working, and I got Manny.
Okay, so you got Manny there. Yeah, Manny got to pitch a lot. I feel that
I told him before those games started last night not to try and hit home runs last night. It was too cold. He needs to adjust and, shoot middle more and just try and get some doubles and some singles. But he hit a couple balls really hard last night, but they would just fly outs to the wall, and it was so hard to get one out last night. We got to give T.J. Brown a little shout out for his home run last night. That was destroyed.
Yeah.
Absolutely just 3-2 pitch too. He fouled off a couple of pitches, and the pitcher came tough, and he hit one a mile.
That game's edited online right now, so you can
great.
watch just that single game there with TJ's home
Yeah, I was
run.
very impressed with TJ. He's really he's got a couple of bets hanging out there for average and OPS, and he is locked in. Whose pick are we up to?
It's my pick right
Okay.
now. All right, James, I got you, baby. I got you, James.
James Stein. We don't need to say too much more about him. He's an excellent pitcher, excellent hitter. WIFFLE got his own WIFFLE channel.
He's an excellent pitcher and a good clutch hitter. How many hits does he have this year?
A few, for
Two.
sure. That's it. They're both game-winning hits.
Both game-winning
hits.
He's under the Mendoza line right now.
Wow.
I think he's like batting 120, 143,
He
something
hit a ball.
like that.
He hit the hardest ball of the night last night, and it went to the one. Who got robbed? Who made that catch there? That was Michael out there, or was it Jelani?
No, I think it's Michael.
It was Michael, right?
Yeah.
No. I think it was Jelani.
Jelani's short.
Yeah.
He can't jump that high.
All right, it was Michael.
Yeah.
That was a ridiculous rob of a home run. He almost caught it. He did make it a single, but that was a game saver too.
So James Stein. If I would have picked him a lot higher if he was hitting like he did last season.
One pick left apiece then.
Yeah, we each have one pick left.
All right, I'm gonna take. It's between Nick Sansoni and Hollis. I'll go with Hollis. Nick's kind of banged up. He's got a shoulder that's a little bump. No, hip. I talked to him this last week. His hip, and he's dealing with that. So I'll take Hollis. Hollis Hale from the Bombers.
Okay. Yeah, that's who I would have taken as well.
Super competitor, and he wants to win bad. That Bombers team looks like they might be the team to beat right now.
All right. So I get one pick left, and so these are who I'm deciding between. I'm deciding between Jonathan Wilson, Levi, Chris Gijwender, my boy from the Sand Vipers, Dobbins as well, maybe Joel. Ray could even come up with, another pitch and end up dominating on the mound. If I knew Tony was going to be healed, I know he reached up and hurt himself a little bit, I would snap Tony, but I'm not going to go with Tony. I can't really. Can I go with Nick? Is he going to be healthy? That's the question. He also missed some of the games. Okay, so last pick. I'm just going to have to go with Nick. If he ends up being healthy, he's going to crush it. You just can't leave Nick on the table there.
I agree with that. I wanted to take him, but Hollis is a good pick as well.
All right. And I guess next week we can add to that by picking up another player if we wanted to, based on some performances.
Let's quickly just tell you that we got the 3-game series, Sand Vipers Stonemen.
That happened yesterday, but we're going to talk about that game next week.
And now tonight's games, Monday night's games, we got Sand Vipers Calicos, Warbirds Bombers, Stonemen Ones, and then to wrap up the night, Snappers Tomahawks. I believe all 8 of those games will be live.
Yep.
And we got some good videos that have been that Tom's editing away, and Casey's got some great photography going on here. So stay tuned.
Yep. Got a lot of new camera equipment. That's the difference. Getting these nice lenses, getting the ATM or something to plug everything together. And speaking of that, we started a Patreon for the league.
Oh, great.
And so the Patreon, anyone can go on there for $2 a month. You can have access to all the photo albums and everything, also to polls, to be able to have exclusive voting stuff. And then we're also going to be putting all the Raw live stream games on there as well. So with your support for the live stream games, that allows us to keep things going there.
I think that's enough.
Cool. Well, thanks a lot. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out our other social media as well.
Premier League WIFFLE on YouTube, Premier League WIFFLE on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, share. Let's build this up and make this something that's really big soon, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.